Well, everybody, thank you. Welcome to the show. I'm Forbes Riley, and welcome to a very special edition of Success TV. We're going to call this Fit with Forbes. I'm introducing an amazing program that I think will help change your life. Because my philosophy is it doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank, if you don't feel good when you wake up in the morning and you're not vital and energetic, you're not good to be around, you're not good to yourself. So for me, it's always about starting with the basic body. Now, you're going to look at me and go, Forbes, what do you know? You look fit and trim, and dear God, I hope you're saying that. But this isn't how I spent most of my life. In fact, I started out life as a very ugly little kid. I was 8 years old and I got hit in the face with a baseball bat, and my nose got broken. Then I had braces for 8 years, and then my orthodontist was amazing. He actually put a tongue thruster in my mouth here, so I talk like this. Not a very good talk show host, huh? And I had this nose and my frizzy hair. And you know, something interesting happened, because just when you think life couldn't get any worse, my dad got into an accident when I was 13 years old, and he spent a couple of years in the hospital. And my doctor turned to my parents and said, you know, we can fix her nose and get her to breathe. Well, he did. And something very miraculous happened to me. The nose got straightened, the hair got cut. I lost a little bit of weight because I was always kind of a chunky kid. You know, I grew up in a time when we ate fried chicken, went to fast food restaurants as a treat on Saturday night, salads with tons of dressing. My mom, God bless her, she was 260 pounds my whole life. We were a large family, and I think that's what I was destined to do. Well, somehow at 15, when all this came together, my mom calls and says, you know, we don't have any money for college. And funny how sometimes tragedy spurns you on to something amazing. And she said, there's a pageant called the Miss Teenage America pageant. I said, Mom. She said, no, don't worry, it's not a beauty pageant. I said, okay, I get it. She said, no, it's talent and personality. You got lots of that. And I went and I auditioned, and I made it all the way to the Miss Teenage America pageant. I represented Miss Teenage New York, although I was talking like this at the time. And life-changing, but here was the thing. I was always a size 12, 14 my whole life. Now, what does that mean? That means that you don't fit in. That means all little skinny girls make fun of you. That means when you want to be a dancer like me, you're in dance class with all these tiny little girls, and I was always fighting my weight. And for me personally, it has been a struggle like you can't believe. Kept me from my acting career, kept me from doing so much. Well, I stand here today at 51. Yeah, 51, having given birth to twins. In fact, take a look at the picture you see on your screen. That is me pregnant with 2 7-pound babies. I had a 65-inch waist. I was a 206 pounds. And very often you see women who never lose the baby weight even though their kids are 19, 20 years old. Well, I did figure it out. I had a couple of people help me, like Jack LaLanne. I think you may have seen me on that infomercial with Jack. We spent 8 years together. And I figured it out. God bless you, and thank you for being here in my audience. So I want to go out to the audience right now, and I want to meet some of the people here, because what's interesting is most of us have weight struggles, don't we? In fact, you've got a very powerful story. You came up to me right before the show. Tell me your name.
Tangi.
Tangi, tell me your story.
Well, I have a family of obesity. My mother struggled. She was 420 pounds. She had to be weighed on a truck scale in order to get her weight. And at the time, I was like small, compared to my family, I suppose. And my sister, she's well over 300 now. And I somehow went from 130 to 246. And I said, I'm on the same track as my family. And I got scared, and she had all these medical problems, and to the point where she died. And the doctors was like, oh, wow, we wanted to do a lawsuit. And they said, well, she was just an obese, heavy lady. She really didn't have a job, so they threw her case out. I didn't want to be in that same boat.
Right.
So as a teacher, we did this fitness thing at my school earlier this year. Biggest Loser. I got in it, not thinking much of it, and I ended up losing 24 pounds.
How did you feel losing 24 pounds?
Amazing. I felt like a new person, and I'm still on the track. I haven't got there yet. I'm kind of at a standstill now. I need a little bit of boost or some help.
Well, that's why you're here, and that's why I'm talking to you. Let me ask you a question. When you're overweight, when you're dealing with a weight issue, how does it feel?
Depressing. I felt like nobody was looking at me. The guys that I would get to date, they were not finding me attractive.
So
There's
you are pretty.
I get that. I mean, maybe facial, but I didn't want to be seen undressed at all with anybody.
All right, so here's my commitment. And I know you because you got tears in your eyes. And this is what I've dealt with my whole life. How old are you?
I'm 44.
All right, do you believe that we can do this?
I gotta do it. I have to do it because I want to be an example for my family. My nieces, I have a son. He said he's never remembered me skinny. He's only remembered me fat. I don't want to be like this, you know.
All right, well, here's what I've done. Here's what I have done. I have created a program that is not a diet. Because I'll tell you what's going on. Partly it's not understanding the food that we eat. Partly it's not getting enough nutrition in our body. And partly it's some emotional issue. Yeah, I don't even have to, you know, there's something in there.
I spend so much money on all these other things. And sometimes I just pay the money and I never show back up.
You believe in me?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay.
I think you're awesome.
Thank you. Well, I think that you're awesome too, and I'm here to help. And that's what we're going to show you in this program. And you're going to stick with it, and you're going to become one of my success stories. You promise?
I promise you.
Because here's the thing. I need you to be a success story. Can we all give her a big round of applause? Now, you're beautiful. Because I'll tell you something. Come here. I want you to meet, you have a seat for a second. I want you to meet this woman over here.
Hi.
You have a success story.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, it's more possible than you ever imagined. And if you need a cheerleader in your corner, that's who I get to be. Can we all agree with that? Go, yeah. Who would like Forbes Riley to be their cheerleader? I mean, seriously.
Right.
If my mom were alive and she could see that I am wearing an exercise outfit on national television at my age, are you kidding me? I mean, this is not the body that I grew up with. This is not the body of my 20s, but this is the body of my future. And I hold that this could be true. And I'll tell you what, standing next to somebody like Jack LaLanne, it changed my world. It got my head on straight, and that's what I'm here to share with you today. Tell me your name.
Jean.
Jean, tell me your story real quickly.
Okay. 2 years ago, I weighed 230 pounds. I gave up my sodas and started drinking iced green tea and hot green tea, and I lost 50 pounds in 2 years.
It is no, but here's what I need you to know.
Yeah.
It is those little changes. It is an
Right.
awakening that happens, and that's what I'm going to show you today, how you don't ever want to diet. Diet my whole life, I've been on every one of them. From the cabbage to the chicken soup to the Beverly Hills, you name it, I've done them all.
Right.
That's not what changes. It's
No.
right here, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm going to show you. Have a
Right.
seat because I'm going to
Okay.
share something with you. Okay, this is what excited me. This is E.A.T. Now what E.A.T is a journal. It is a 6-week journal, E.A.T. A journal for what you eat and for what's eating you. Do you understand that part of the issue is something is eating at you? It's an emotional thing. It's somewhere that you got held up. But I don't want you to pay tens of thousands of dollars to some therapist and spend years doing it. Do you have 6 weeks that you could play with me? Because here's all that you have to do. I've taken hundreds of people through this program. And it's simple because it works whether I'm in the room or not. But I will be your cheerleader. What you're going to do with it is you're going to open this up. And every day for 6 weeks, you're going to do something really simple. You're going to honestly, specifically write down the food that you eat. Can you do that? Yeah. But get honest, because here's the big thing. Most of us are not honest. This is what I really had for breakfast. This was the size portion. Because here's the thing. I used to have a banana nut muffin when I was younger in my 20s, thinking, okay, banana and nut. It was healthy. It was like 800 calories when I found out of trans fat, icky stuff. But it was a banana nut muffin, if I'd really understood. So you're going to write all this down. And you're going to check off your waters. And you're going to check off the thing for your exercise. But that's just one part of it. Because you getting honest is the very first step. When you see that I had 6 sodas today, well, that can't be healthy. You don't need me to tell you that. You will awaken to that on your own. But on the right side of the page, every day for 6 weeks, that's all you have to do, is do a little exercise. Every day, it's one question, one exercise, and they're fun. But something miraculous is happening. And I see it with all of my clients. Right around week 4, like a month into this, because it takes 21 days to break a habit, 21 days to make a habit. So a little after that 3-week mark, you've started to play around with your emotions. You started to write down hopes and dreams and maybe some tears and things that you're upset about. When you write it down, it comes out and something great changes. And I get these crazy phone calls and emails going, Forbes, I just lost 10 pounds. I don't know how I did. I didn't change and there's no diet attached to this. In fact, my husband laughed because I get these emails going, thank you for the diet you put me on, Forbes. Well, there is no diet. I don't believe in diets. You know what diet is? D-I-E-T. Decisions I eat today. You start to make smarter decisions. Here's the first decision. I just want you to make this very first one. I'm going to give this one to you for free. Go out. Who here goes out to a restaurant ever? Yeah? Like a nice restaurant where they come? 2 things the waitress says to you. What would you like to drink? Okay? That's because they're trying to sell you alcohol. And they make money on it. That's what they do. So say, I would like water. And watch her face because she'll go, oh. Because she didn't make any money. But seriously, that's because it's like a game they play. So the first decision is just say you want to drink water, maybe some unsweetened iced tea, okay? Those are good. The second thing you want to do is when she brings that big thing of bread over before you've had dinner, what are you going to do? You're going to say, what?
Say no.
Say no. You're going to say no to the bread. And it's so simple. You're just going to say, no, thank you. You know why? I always make a joke out of it. I said, because if you leave it here, I'm going to eat the entire thing. And then I'm not going to want to pay for my entree. So if you can make that decision, because here's the other thing I need you to know. My second piece of advice that's free. How you define food. Okay? We're going to redefine food altogether. Who here, raise your hand if you ever put water in your gas tank. What was that? Nobody ever put water in their gas tank? Why wouldn't you do that? Because the car doesn't go. You knew that, right? Even you knew that, and you don't even know how to fix your engine. Because the car doesn't go. But you're willing, and you didn't even try it, but you're willing to put junk food in your body and wondering why it's not going at optimum health. How could you do that? I just got a The value of the food you put in your body. FOOD, fuel only on demand. What is fuel? Is fuel, you asked me earlier about pasta and white flour and all that. We know that's bad. Open any journal, open any magazine, white is bad. White flour, white potatoes, great. When you start to look at your journal and go, man, I had a lot of white food. That girl's right. I didn't have any vegetables. So here's what you've got. You've got eat, and this is a journal for a diary journal for what you eat and for what's eating you. But here's the best part. I'm going to do something for free. I'm going to throw in my new book. Now, you know, you've seen me on the Jack LaLanne juicer, right? I stood next to Mr. Jack LaLanne for almost 8.5 years. Very powerful. When I met this man, I had just given birth to my 2 babies. I had a 65-inch waist. I kind of lost it, but I was a little soft around the middle. And I met this guy who stood this tall in a blue suit, who'd been on TV for 35 years. And he said things like, if man made it, don't eat it. Garbage in, garbage out. Where are you going to live if your body... I mean, he said all these things to me. Well, I recorded all of them. I took pictures. He met my babies when they were 3 months old. We woke up at his home on his 96th birthday, the 4 of us, my family. And we juiced with Jack. That was his last birthday. I know. I just lost my best friend. But I didn't lose all the things that he taught me. And I'm not going to let that go. And so my little babies who are now 8 years old, we juice. So this book is called, get this, The Fountain of Youth. The 7 secrets that I learned about life, love, and longevity from Elaine and Jack LaLanne. This man was my personal mentor. I did 4 shows with him and spent 8 years with him. He changed my life. I want to change yours. His words resonate in my head. I took them, I put them into a book. I interviewed Elaine. Elaine is 85 years old, and she can do more push-ups than we all can do put together. She just get down there. She's spunky. Who'd like to be that at 85? Yeah. Life, love, and longevity, because he talked about those things, and they're in my heart, and I'm compelled to share them with you. So I'm going to give this book to you completely free. All you need to do is pay shipping on this one. That's going to come with you. My e-journal, by the way, $19.95. If you got a $20 bill in your pocket, you're going to get this entire kit. And then I'm going to throw something else into you, because here's a really cool thing that I learned. I learned that you need to relax. So I got certified in hypnotherapy, just one of those things. And I now, I made these little CDs for myself, and I found they were working. I slept through the night. How many of us wake up in the middle of the night? Okay, if you wake up, let me share something. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you have a weight issue, that could be related. If you don't get your 6-8 hours of sleep, your body needs that. This CD, I've been doing this for myself, my husband, my kids, and all my clients. When you sleep through the night, you wake up, you go, wow, I feel better. You start to lose weight. You need a consistent 6 hours worth of sleep. So this, I'm just going to throw this in, because this is one of the things that saved me. I wake up in the morning, and I've got energy, and I'll tell you something else I don't do. I don't drink coffee. I haven't had coffee in 4 years. And you go, well, how does she have that much energy? This is what life, love, and longevity is all about. This is what juicing will do for you. Do I suggest y'all own a juicer? Absolutely. Well, because it's cheaper than a juice bar. You ever go to a juice bar? How much is a typical glass of juice? $6? Yeah, if you did that every day, that's $180 for a month. In 1 month, you can pay for 2 juicers. You know it's pennies per serving? I'll give you, and by the way, it's all in this book. Some of my favorite all-time recipes. And my kids, and I'll probably even show this on camera, a little testimonial of my 2 8-year-olds juicing. And so one of our favorite recipes, if you get out a pen, you want to write this recipe down. We take an apple. We take a handful of grapes with the seed and the stem on it. Then we throw in some raw broccoli, some raw spinach, a cucumber, some carrots, and some celery. And if I like a spindle, and I know you're going, I've never heard of this before. You want to activate your metabolism? You want to get it cranking? Start feeding your body. What did that girl say? Fuel only on demand. High octane fuel is raw vegetables, raw fruit. But let me tell you something honestly. I hate the taste of raw broccoli. I don't want my kids hear that. Raw spinach, it's okay. But when you stick it in juice with carrot, apple, celery, and some grapes, it's so sweet you don't notice it. So what did you just do? You upped your nutrition, and you know what? You're going to get 2 points here because she's actually taking notes. This is what this whole journal is about. Start writing it down. Start taking notes on things that inspire you and take action. How much would you like to lose?
50 pounds at least.
Now, how bold of me was to look into an audience of a woman that I've just met and ask her that question. Why? Because I feel it. I know I have been you. And I'll tell you something else. You're not as happy as you could be. Am I right?
That's true.
Stand up for a second. Stand up for a second. Oh, okay. Did we all just get that?
Yes.
Will you do this program for me?
Sure.
Will you? Because here's what. How old are you?
I'm 58.
Okay. You are too beautiful. You are too beautiful to be carrying 50 pounds extra on your knees, on your hips, on your heart, around your waist. What keeps your weight on?
Not eating the right things.
Why?
Sometimes, I'm enthused about losing weight. Other times, I'm not as enthused as I should be, and then I'll get depressed and say, well, I'll pick it back up next month and start again, and I don't always do that.
Have you ever written down your food?
No.
Okay, can you imagine how easy this step? This is not a diet that I'm going to give you for $19.95. But I am going to ask you to get honest with yourself. Is this your husband?
No, it's not.
But he's
Good
cute.
friend.
Just checking. Well, you have a twin sister here, don't you?
I do.
Where's your twin sister? Now stand up for a second. Now this is interesting. How much weight did she lose?
Well, we both lost some weight in the last year.
You guys look, you're beautiful, by the
But,
way.
we definitely need to lose some more. And we've just we've had some things going on family-wise and all this during this year. But we were just talking the other day that we want to get back on track and do something again, because when we lost some pounds earlier this year and last year, our family was just amazed.
Isn't that so funny? You guys are beautiful. Tell me your sister's name.
Brenda?
Brenda, thank you so very much. Here's the thing is nothing tastes as good as fit feels. So when it's holiday season, you want to gouge yourself, gorge yourself, think about why you're doing that. Now, I bumped into you right before the show, and you said something very interesting. What's your name?
Gerard,
Gerard, what did you say to me about your body?
I don't feel comfortable in it.
Why?
Because as a young kid, I was always urged to be skinny as a soccer player, and growing up, I always had to be fit and things like that.
You know, here's the thing. Let me tell you something. The worst thing that you guys can do is kind of suffer in silence. Because we all think everybody else is prettier than us and thinner than us. And I love the fact that you look at me going, oh, she's so tiny. When people say, by the way, that I look tiny, the little fat me goes, who the heck are they looking at? How did I get to be this way? But I am standing, and I'll tell you, and I'm looking at you, because you'd like to change a little bit, wouldn't you?
I would.
See, I can't stand seeing the pain in people's eyes, and I see it everywhere, every day, and I'm tired. I'm tired of you guys not looking at me as happy and as fit as you can be. It's easy. Will you commit to me for 6 weeks?
Yeah.
All you have to do, $20. Take a $20 bill right out of you got a pocketbook right now?
Okay, but I probably don't have 20 in it right now.
All right, but I'm serious. But can you imagine? You're going to spend that anyway on something silly, on some new diet idea. I don't want you to diet again. I don't want you to get caught in that yo-yo trap. It's not worth it. All I want you to do is grab a pen, grab my journal, and one day at a time, write down what you eat, honestly. And then write down my little exercises. And by the way, my exercises are fun. Why do I make them fun? Because I want you to do them. It's this journey that you get to go on with yourself. I love this. I have personally watched people's lives transform. And when you're happier, you know what else? Your kids are happier. Your spouse is happier. If you're single, you start walking a little better. You kind of have a little swagger. Because when you're fighting your weight, every day, every morning you wake up, I've been there. I used to cry all the time. I used to wonder, how come everyone else figured it out? Let me ask you one more question. Who here is unhappy with their body right now? Clap if you are, if you're unhappy. Can we all promise to make a change?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, what did you say, darling?
Yes.
What would you like to change?
My hips.
Your hips? What would you like to change about them?
They're so wide.
You know what? She's so beautiful no matter what she did. I just want to hug her. I'll tell you what. Are you happy with your diet?
No.
But why?
Because I just don't have time for, the cooking and stuff like that, and I be getting off work and stuff. So I just don't have, I don't put time into it.
Number one excuse that I hear is I don't have time. You have children?
No.
Okay, you don't have children. I have 2. And I have that, last time I checked, same 24 hours a day that you do.
Can we do this interview? She wasn't right.
Oh, all right. This is kind of,
I can't say it no more. Okay.
all right, so let me ask you a question. What is the number one reason why you don't, tell me your biggest problem.
My hips.
Yeah, what's wrong with your hips, baby?
They're wide.
But see, she's so beautiful. Now tell me, are you happy with your diet?
No.
Why?
Because I don't have time to cook or time to exercise, and I get off work and I just be so tired.
Oh, baby, do you have kids?
No.
You have no kids. I have 2 kids. How is I have more time than you do?
I have no idea.
Okay, well okay. I'll tell you, and I'll tell you what. I don't have any more time than she does. We all have the same 24 hours. If it's a priority, are you telling me you'd like to lose some weight?
I would love to.
All right, will you make me a promise? Can you do 6 weeks of my EAT journal?
I will.
All right, so here's the thing. What a challenge. I'm not asking you for anything. All I'm asking you to do is to make the commitment, and here's what I'm going to give you. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to change your body. I want you to make this, where am I going to look to do this CTA? Somebody give me a camera. This camera, that camera. That, your camera, okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take my challenge. I want you to transform your body, take the Forbes Riley Fit with Forbes challenge. How much can you lose? Can you email me before and after photos? And can we inspire a whole nation to finally get fit? It's simple. All you have to do is pick up the phone. I want you to dial the number that's on your screen right now, and you're going to get a copy of E.A.T. Now, E.A.T is a journal for what you eat and what's eating you. Yeah, chances are if you're carrying some extra pounds, you're like me, you got something going on inside, and maybe you don't even know what it is. But it's a 6-week, no diet ever again system. I don't believe in the word diet. Now, I've put hundreds of people through this program, and I'll tell you what, the results have been amazing. My hope is that you take this challenge. But also, if you call right now, here's what I'm also going to do. I'm going to include, for free, my special Fountain of Youth. Now, this is 7 secrets to life, love, and longevity that I learned from the master, the fitness guru himself, Elaine and Jack LaLanne. Now, the 2 of them figured out the world. They figured out that juice, fresh vegetables, is really the key to keep it going. And finally, to help you on your success path, I've included a relaxation CD. And what this does is when you sleep, first it helps you sleep better, your dreams are brighter, and I'll tell you what, you get to treat yourself to become the body that you've always dreamed of. But all you need to do, literally, all you need to do is pick up the phone. The whole kit, they're going to send it to you, is $19.95 plus shipping and handling. If you get it home, it's a step-by-step blueprint, A to Z. I do it for you. All you have to do to get the body that you deserve is fill in the blanks. Maybe I'll have to send you a pen, too, just in case. I don't want any excuses. Because you've got the time. Here's all the time that it takes, a couple of minutes in the morning. It's a decision that you make, that it is now finally time. If you think it's time to change your body, I want to hear, oh yeah! Oh yeah! So I didn't hear you. Is it, oh yeah? Oh yeah! Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep you to this commitment. I'm going to get your emails. I'm going to make sure that I hound you. Okay. Because I know, I truly believe you get to be accountable. Maybe you turn to somebody else. Maybe you turn to your sister and say, you know what? We can do this. One step, one day at a time, we can make a change. How much weight did you lose? 50 pounds. How much weight do you want to lose? 50. You guys ought to hang out and find out how she did it.
Green tea.
I'll tell you what.
And not bottled. Make it at home.
Absolutely. But that is a great addition. Here's the thing. I could give you 110 different diet tips.
Yeah.
They're having a conversation already. What are we talking about?
I've been making green tea every morning for years.
Well,
green
here's
tea,
the thing.
fresh
This
green
is,
tea.
and we're going to share a lot of inside diet tips. I'm going to tell you things about apple cider vinegar. I mean, in this book, there's a whole bunch of secrets. Green tea is in there. Super antioxidant foods are in there. Juicing recipes to help you melt the fat. It's in there. Just don't diet. Put in great recipes. I know you're looking at me. I literally saw this woman in the bathroom. How much weight did you say you want to lose?
About 40.
And she looked at me because she helped me put my dress on. How crazy is this, in all honesty? And you're like, man, look at your little body. And I'll tell you what, I could have started to cry. Because when your whole life is kept from you because you're overweight and you can't do what you want to do, it's horrible, isn't it? It is. I mean, you guys, I can feel you. It's horrible. You know, this is just not fair, and I couldn't figure it out. So we talk a little about portion control, but mostly it's that we're not getting enough nutrition. And here's the thing, is I see the tears in your eyes. We can't be this sad all the time. It's like an underlying, and even men and women, it doesn't matter what you are. There's a little sadness too. Well, here's the thing, is we lie to each other. We say that the cereal aisle in the grocery store, which is full of high fructose corn syrup, is okay. It's not okay. We talk about milk that's full of hormones and things is okay. It's not okay. Going to junk food places and putting a crappy hamburger and big fat buns and fried food, not okay. You know it's the truth. But I don't need to tell you about a diet. I don't need to show you anything. You're going to show yourself. You're all real smart. Every week in the magazines and the newspapers, you're inundated with diet information. Is it good diet, bad diet? It doesn't matter. Get honest with yourself. Look at how much calories. Look at how much water. How much soda do you drink? What's your diet downfall, by the way? Come on, I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did.
Diet downfall.
I drink a lot of sweet tea.
I drink a lot of sweet tea. Do you know what sweet tea is? It is sugar, 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 sugar. Don't do it. I'm serious. Learn to love. If you can't do it, then just drink water. But what you're drinking is not tea. It is processed sugar. Yeah. And what happens when you put too much sugar in your body, you know, I'll tell you the technical thing, or I'll tell you the time. I don't know how much time I have. I know we're running out of time. I'm going to tell you something funny. Maybe you can take this one story with you because it worked for my 2 little babies. My kids, when they were little, my son says to me, Mommy, what do I do when I got a cut on my hand? How is it when I wake up the cut's all healed? And I said, there's little guys inside of you that come and they stitch you up at night. Now, these guys have little helmets on with lights, and they walk around with a little cup full of water. And the only thing they can do is put water in there. You can't put soda or pop or any of those things. So you got to fill their cups with water. So my kids will say, Mommy, I got to go fill my cup because I'm making sure the guys inside, we'll do something for somebody else. So they have this vision. And then I said, you know what happens when you feed those little guys too much sugar? They fall asleep. They don't get to do their job. And that's how people get fat. So you guys, you giving them too much sugar? Have they fallen asleep or they're not doing their job to give you the kind of energy that you need? If you give these guys fresh, wholesome juice, they're running around and they're kicking. Because here's the thing. If your body gives out, and UB Blake said it at 95, he said, if I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken much better care of myself. So you bumped into me. At 51 years old, I have more energy and more passion and more love for life. Now, I do have 2 little kids, so I'm inspired to get up in the morning, but I never looked like this in my whole life. And I'll dedicate this to my high school teacher, who's still alive, Facebooked me not long ago. I was 15 years old. I was wearing a size 14 at the time, and I wanted to be the lead in the play so bad. And he wrote me a note. He said, Forbes, you're a good actress, but you're too presentational. Well, I got a great job as a host doing that. And you could stand to lose 15 pounds. And there's probably not a day that goes by that I don't think, this is 30-some-odd years ago. Change it. And don't change it because of what size jeans you want to get into. Do it for yourself, for your heart. And you know, do it for, I mean, you want to attract somebody. There's so many great reasons to do this, but do it for you. Here's what I want you to do. If you're unhappy at all with your body, it's time to just give that up. Let's make a change. A little bit of exercise goes a long way. Now, I know you've seen me do my little fitness product. I've got a product called Spin Gym. You're going to ask your operator about how you can change your exercise in just 5 minutes a day. And in fact, I'm going to give one away to our lucky studio audience here. So you're going to check out my Spin Gym, but here's what I want you to get. I want you to get E.A.T. So E.A.T is a journal for what you eat and for what's eating you. This book will hold the key to your weight loss. And it's not a diet. It's you getting honest with you, and it's right here. You're going to every day fill out the journal part, what you eat. Just 6 weeks. I'll tell you something. 6 weeks is going to happen whether you do this or not. And then do the exercises and just see what happens. And I'll show you. Come around week 4, something magical happens. Something inside you just kind of cracks open. You get honest. You remember why you maybe eat too much, why you stuff down your emotions, why you stand in front of the refrigerator at 11:30 at night and can't get enough food or drink so much sugar. And when you get honest, you'll know the difference. And then I'm going to give you for free. By the way, this book, $19.95. Who here's got $20 in their pocket right now? Who here wants to spend that little bit to make a huge change in their life? Then I'm going to give you my other book called The Fountain of Youth. This is the 7 secrets, and they are secrets, and I hold this book very dear to my heart. These are 7 secrets that I learned from the greatest fitness guru on the planet, Mr. Jack LaLanne. I spent 8 years with him, from the time I had my babies to the time they're now almost 9 years old. He taught me so much. I carry his thoughts with me every day. My kids always walk around going, if man made it, don't eat it. Macaroni and cheese, Mommy, did man make that? I said, yeah. How about apple? Did man make that? I said, no, God made that. Okay, I can have that one. So sometimes that's how we do it. All those secrets are right here, and I'm going to give this book to you free. All I want you to do is pay a little shipping and handling, get this home, This is a very valuable book, and there's some beautiful, beautiful photos never before seen of me and Jack LaLanne. In fact, we should just put one up on the screen. That would be me, Jack, and his beautiful wife, Elaine. And then this CD. This is one of those things you put in at night when you go to sleep. Helps you sleep, helps you wake up invigorated. And the funny thing, too, is when you go to sleep, there's that moment when, when your subconscious and your conscious go upside down, and all of a sudden you fall asleep. That one moment, you can put in suggestions. You should say to yourself at that moment, right before you're dozing off, going, I see the body that I want to be. Make yourself a vision board. Put up pictures of what you want to be. Start thinking about it. Here's my advice and here's my hope for you. I want you to dream it. I want you to believe it. And I want you to achieve it. Can we all do that? All right, everybody, I'm Forbes Riley. Thanks for watching this very special edition of Success TV. Let's get fit with Forbes. Bye, you guys.